Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to be creating and adding tasks to our client portal. This is going to be the thing that allows more collaboration to happen between the admin and the client. And we have some decisions that we can make here. Should we allow the client to be able to add tasks themselves, or do we only want them to be able to view the tasks and comment on the task? I think for this situation, we're going to allow the clients to be able to add new tasks and to be able to comment. That way, when the the client goes into the portal, they can view all the tasks that they like, and then they can add new tasks if they want the agency to work on more things for them. All right. Alternatively, we have the admin, and they're going to be able to add tasks as well, comments as well, update as well, and then even delete the tasks as well. They have full admin privileges over the tasks, whereas clients can only add and view. Okay, let's get into it, starting with our database like always. So if we get into our database, we notice that we don't actually have a table for it yet. So we're going to create a new table called tasks. And in this table, the first thing that we need to create is the task name. Task name, that's great. We're going to have a task description next, and long text works well. And we're going to add a task attachment, okay? So just in case you need to upload some kind of directions or a file or document, anything along with this task, a brief, you can then do that. So a attachment is going to be an attachment file type. And now we got to assign this to someone. And so it's going to be assignee. And what field are we going to use? A field type are we going to use? It's going to be linked to another record, and it's going to be linked to a user because we want to link users to assign this to users. And we can allow multiple users to work on a task. We'll have a status, and that status is going to be a single select. And it's either going to be done, in progress, or to do. All right. Now you can go in there and change these colors as well, just in case you didn't realize that. Also, I think one last thing I want to say is go back to edit field, the default option. This is when you create a new thing. What is the default value for that new thing you've created with? And in this case, we're just going to say by default, it's to do. All right. Now we need to assign this to a project. So what project is this task assigned to? Again, we're going to link it to another record and we're going to say projects. And it can only belong to one project. And then we'll say, when is the deadline for this? All right. And I think that's good for now. We're going to add some more stuff like commenting functionality later on in this course. But for now, there's enough of the tasks in here. I'm just going to quickly speed through and add some mock data to this. And then we're going to continue on with adding the tasks in our project detail page. All right, so now we've created all of the tasks that we want to use for this. And we're going to go back into our project detail page. Now we want to add a Kanban board right here for the tasks, okay? So let's go back into our project detail page. And then below the members section, go to add block. And up here, search Kanban. It's right there. All right, so we're going to put in a Kanban block there. All right, now that we have the Kanban block there, we want to go to table, and it's going to be tasks. All right. Now we want to make sure only the tasks show up for this specific project. So we're going to go to our conditional filter, and we're going to say that the project includes any of the current record project name. Okay. So that means that the current project that we're viewing, the tasks need to belong to that current project. Okay. And then otherwise, I think that's good there. Let's go up to the content and do some mapping here. So we're going to add a title. It's going to be left aligned. It's going to be called tasks. There we go. We're going to group by the status. And what group by means is that it creates these groups into statuses of done, in progress, to do. And that's how we're going to bring all this stuff into the Kanban board. Now we want an image up top. All right. Actually, no image, sorry. We have these different ones, and I want to actually bring task name up top It's not bringing it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to hide the image. So we have the task name there. That's great. I'm going to get rid of the label because we don't need that. And then I'm going to, the description is a little bit too long for this. So instead, I'm going to say, let's see, what else do we got? Let's do deadline here. So I'm going to do a date. In this case, it's just going to be text. And I'm going to be doing the deadline right there. All right. We could say due on if we want. Due on. We could do that if we would. Otherwise, we'll say, who is the assignee to this? And we see that it's coming up as text right now, but I'm going to switch that over to tag, and it's going to make a nice little tag there. So if we want the profile image of the assignee to show up here, what we can do is we can go into our client portal, and actually we want to make this just one assignee for each task. So whoever's assigned to it. So I'm just going to make that there. I'm going to confirm that change. Then I'm going to go and create a new field, and this is going to be called the assignee photo. And this is going to be a lookup field, okay? And it's the first time we're using a lookup field. And for this, we're going to select the assignee, and we want to find the photo, and we want it to display it right there. Now, if we go back into our studio and we can refresh this, then that's going to allow us to display that image in here as well. So now if I go over here and I can go to attachment or image, and I can go to assignee photo, and there it is. And now that assignee is there, and I can go in here, I can make it a lot smaller here, right? And then I can make it a circular like that and make it nice. So that way I can see clearly who it's assigned to and when's it due on. I'm going to go back to this due on, just get rid of that right there. So I have the title, the due date, and the assignee. That's looking pretty good. And then I don't think we need to do anything else at this point. I think that's all right. Now, there's a couple more things in terms of actions that we need to do. Now, we want to also go to the item button right there, and we want to be able to edit this record. Now, for the edit, this is only going to be for admins. So I'm going to click on that visibility. I'm going to go in and say only admins can edit. But otherwise, we can go through here and we can create the pop-up for editing this task. All right, so I'm going to go to edit task, and it's going to be task name, task name. There we go. It's going to be a drop down for assignees, assignee. And you can see right here, allow multiple. And since we changed that to be only one select, we can't allow multiple, but we will say assignee. And then we're also going to say the deadline. If you want to change the deadline, it's going to be date, and it's going to be deadline, and it's going to be deadline. All right, fantastic. So we'll keep that there for now, and let's preview it and see what we got. All right, cool. So now on this project detail page, see the project, the members, the tasks, and the tasks and what area, what one they're in. And I can move this over, and that's going to be like that. Now I'm going to get rid of this search bar. I'm going to get rid of this as well. That doesn't apply that well. Otherwise, I'm feeling pretty good about that. This add record, we can conditionally show and hide as well. So let's go in here and make some quick adjustments. Go into content. We're going to remove this filter. Go into the search bar. We're going to remove that. For the actions on the top level button, we are going to allow both the client and the admin to be able to add here. So we'll say add task. We're going to keep it open to both. And the task will include several different things. So we're going to have the task name. Task name. It's going to be a task description, which is a long text. We're going to have a drop down for assignees. We're going to have a date for a deadline. We're going to have a file uploader for an attachment. Where is it? It's file. It's going to be the attachment. Now we're going to say that this is not required. So it's optional. So if they want to leave that blank, they can leave that blank. And also we need to assign this to a project. How would we assign it to a project in a really easy way? Luckily, there's Softr, and Softr is incredible, and it allows us to use what we call a hidden field. So for the hidden field, we can assign this task to a project. And we could do it by grabbing the detailed pages record ID. Okay. So the user will not be shown this. We're just automatically going to add this value to the new task that's created based on the page that it's on. How great is that? So I think that's going to do it for our add task. I'm just going to go up here and I'm just going to remove a little bit of the padding here to make that look a little bit better, just right around there. And then let's preview it and check out what we got. All right, I'm going to go back. It's showing me that I don't have anything yet. So I'm going to actually go in as Leia, and I'm going to see it as an admin. I'm going to go into my projects. I'm going to go into the actual project now. I'm on the project detail page, the project members. Now I have the tasks. Again, I can do this. I'm an admin, so I have the ability to edit this task if I want. Again, this is already built for me. How easy is that? Or I can add a new task, and here this is. And I'll say, my first task, and I'm just going to fill in some stuff here with some temp data. Boom. Deadline. All this stuff is formatted for me. Don't need to add that. And just like that, a new task is added to this project. And if we go and look in our database, my first task, there it is. Man, we're cruising right along this course. It feels good. We're building our first application, a client portal for a marketing agency. And you, as the developer, you're making it all happen. So I'm super proud of you. Give yourself a pat in the back, grab some coffee, and let's get on to the next lesson.